Senator McFedrin.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I have a question for you, Senator Gold. But before I ask the question, I want to say thank you to Senator Batters for her acknowledgement of the exclusion of unaffiliated senators. And I want to thank Senator Patterson for ensuring that my name was finally recognized. I'm often amazed for someone, such a large-bodied woman, how I managed to be invisible so much of the time in this chamber. My question is this, and it's based on a dream that I've had since the second day I came into the Senate. I've dreamt that at some point there would be a sufficient number of feminists, regardless of gender, who decided that they actually wanted to be a group. And after 7 years here, I don't dream about this nearly as often as I used to. But my question is, should that happen, do I understand correctly that the results of this motion, as adopted, would foreclose that possibility forever for a new group with equal status to the existing groups to form and to flourish?
Senator Gold.
Well, the answer is no. There is nothing in this motion that in any way inhibits the Senate from following the rules for what is required for a recognized group. And I believe the rule requires nine to be recognized in chamber. So we don't touch that rule. What we have done, though, in terms of, in most, though not all cases, there is actually, and I can't remember, but in most cases, so as not to be misleading, we have cleaved somewhat to the provisions of the Parliament of Canada Act, which limited the extension of certain rights and privileges to the leaders and facilitators, deputies, and so on, of the three largest groups. But nothing in this motion precludes new groups from forming, people from, and depending on how many members they may or may not attract, they may very well find themselves ranked in the top three or not. But again, Senator, on that question, unlike the question of non-affiliated that I've already addressed, that is something I think that, again, these rules, well, nothing is set in stone, nothing lasts forever. Legislation has changed, and rules can be and have been changed, and may be changed in the future. This is one step forward. If new groups emerge and the Senate then, in its judgment, decides to adjust the rules to take account of that new reality in whatever direction the Senate so chooses, then the Senate is free to do that, and I would look forward to that discussion happening at the appropriate time.
Senator McFedrin.
Thank you, Your Honor. Very quick supplement. My initial question included reference to a new group flourishing, not just functioning or existing. So just to make sure that I understand your answer, if that group were to flourish and get the resources needed to do that, it would have to have enough members to surpass existing groups to reach the top echelon?
Senator
No,
Gold.
I mean, Senator, as you know, for example, budgets, I mean, this motion doesn't touch at all our processes through CEBA for recognizing, providing resources to recognized groups. So that's simply not the point. But if this motion passes, then yes, the rules do give a privileged position, in at least in one case, to the leader of the facilitator of the largest group other than government. And in many other respects, to the leaders or facilitators, and through them, their members, of three groups. And that's the way it stands now. So if a fourth group emerges, there are many, but it is not reached, but it is still fourth in terms of numbers. Then as long as the rules stay that way, that they will be disadvantaged compared to the other three, unless and until the rules are changed. and if there is a willingness or a desire to change the rules, then they will. But again, we were trying to bring this into line with the Parliament of Canada Act. We were trying also, in a responsible way, as a government, to not go beyond what we believe what had been well established in this chamber through the Parliament of Canada Act, which recognized, gave certain privileges to only the certain privileges to the three largest groups, but also that which had emerged consensually through the various studies to which I've referred. And so, again, this is an evolutionary, ongoing process for which we, senators, have a responsibility to continue to move forward, regardless of what happens with this motion.